सावाग यया तस्य गुणान् गृणीते करौ च तत्कर्म करौ मनश्च स्मरेद् वसन्तं स्थिरजङ्गमेषु शृणोति तत्पुण्यकथासकर्णा. Now in this verse, the continuation of the theme is that if we go to text 1, 2, 3 and 4, this is Parikshit Maharaj speaking. So when he is speaking, we have his thought developing over here. And in the first verse, he said that speak Krishna's glories. The second verse, he's saying, why, who will not hear? Who will not hear if that person has understood how Krishna is special, and that person has understood how not only is Krishna special, but also that the world, what it promises to be special, is not actually special. Now the third is that he is going to describe the characteristics of, if we hear, he's describing of a life, or life centered on Krishna means senses. Describing this in the next verse, that means actually our senses are devoted to Krishna, directed toward Krishna, directed and devoted to Krishna. So he's giving an example of how this happens. Savak yasya yaya tasya gunan grunite. So let's look at the senses he is describing. So there is speech. So speech is directed towards Krishna. Savak tasya gunan grunite, Krishna's qualities. So we use our speech to glorify Krishna. We talk about karau cha tatkarma karau manascha. So with our hands, what do we do? Karau is hands. We do Krishna's work. Now, manascha smaradet vasandam sthirajangameshu. So, with our mind, we remember Krishna. It's not just remember Krishna's pastime, but it's interesting. With our mind, we are able to focus on Krishna's presence in all. It's interesting, not just all beings, it's moving and non-moving. Sthirajangameshu. Moving and non-moving. So, this is not talking about an abstract or disconnected remembrance of Krishna where we turn away from the world and become absorbed in remembering him by forgetting the world and forgetting other people. And then about with the ears. What do we do with the ears? Shunoti tat punya katha sakaranaha. With our ears, Krishna's pastimes we hear. So in this way, these various senses are directed towards Krishna. Now the mind is also considered one of the senses. Manah shashthani indriyani prakritisthani karshati. The mind is the sixth sense. And if we move forward and consider what is going on in this verse, the idea is that we don't just, as the soul, we consider the soul is in a particular body right now. If you consider the soul is in a particular body. There's a mind and there is the body. So it is not that we try to leave the soul, just take the soul towards Krishna. Well, that's the ultimate purpose. But what we do is, through the subtle body, we go towards Krishna. It is through the gross body we go towards Krishna. So now, diagrammatically, this may be a little difficult to depict. It is that the soul is using. So what we are trying to do is, here the subtle body is being using the subtle body. That is, for example, it described the mana, that we use the mind to remember Krishna, and then we are using the gross body. So both of these, we are using the bodies in serving Krishna, and that's why Bhakti is actually sensory spirituality. Bhakti is not non-sensory. It's not nonsense, of course, but it's not non-sensory spirituality. Sensory spirituality means we use our senses in serving Krishna and going closer to Krishna. Now this same theme, now if we try to understand this, the senses could be used. We just we can either surrender to the senses at present, or we can suppress the senses. So if we do neither, surrender to the senses, that will keep us in materialism. Now if we suppress the senses, that is the path of impersonalism, where we reject all that is attractive to the senses as Maya. But instead what we do in between is we select where the senses are to be directed. And in this way, each one of us, from wherever we are, it's not about surrendering or surrendering to the senses. It is not suppressing the senses, it's about selecting which attractive object. So while there could be many subjects which we could discuss about, but we focus on discussing about Krishna. We focus on speaking about Krishna, hearing about Krishna, using our senses in Krishna's service. And that same theme is continued in the next verse. Shirastu tasyobhaya lingamanamet tad eva yat pashyati tadhi chakshu angani vishnor atata jananam padodakam yani bhajanti nityam. Shirastu tasyobhaya lingamanamet. So the same thing, the head, it's not talking about bowing down to, we bow down to the Lord, but it's a super soul in all. So it's interesting, again, he's not talking about just going to a temple. That is only seeing God in the deity form is a Kanishtadhikari. It's a Madhyamadhikari and Uttamadhikari is one is able to see God in all. So real eyes are those eyes which see only the Lord. Now, eyes, we behold the Lord. We behold Krishna and Krishna's beauty with the Lord, with our eyes. Tadhichakshu angani vishnor tatat jananam. And with our limbs, what do? We bathe the limbs. Padodakam yani bhajanti nityam. We bathe with the water that has, we honor the water. So honor could be we drink the water, we take the water in our hands respectfully. We honor the sacred water that has bathed the Lord. So it's talking about Charanamrit. We can carry the Charanamrit and give to others. So in this way, here the theme is, if we consider, strictly speaking, the head is not considered to be one of the senses, but the head can represent either the ego, which can be expressed, which we submit to the Lord through humility, or head can refer to the intelligence, and then we use it to perceive how God is present in everyone. Now, in this particular theme, the limbs and honoring with our limbs refers to the physical expression of humility. So the idea is that with our senses, we offer our senses to Krishna, and thus it's a journey. When we offer our senses, so if we consider Krishna, now Krishna we are putting here not above but right next to us, because Krishna is here in this world. So when we offer our senses to Krishna, we get a sense of Krishna. Sense of Krishna means that Krishna becomes an increasing presence in our consciousness. We start sensing that Krishna is not far away. Krishna is with us, within us, around us. He's everywhere. So because this is progress in our Krishna consciousness. Initially, it's a matter of what we offer and then what we receive in return. So the more we offer our mind to Krishna, the more we will remember Krishna ourselves.